Welcome to Second Listen Saturday on the Parenting Roundabout podcast, where we share some fun moments from a past episode for your weekend listening pleasure. Look for new episodes every Monday through Friday.
Let's do a little comparing and contrasting. Uh-oh.
That's right. Well, since we're in the heart of summer vacation at this point, we thought we would talk a little bit about how our kids' summer vacations compare to our own childhood summer times. So for me, my kids have me at home with them, but they've always done a combination of camps, and when they were pretty little, they did still go to daycare during the summer. But now that they're a little older and they're kind of too old for a lot of things, they're at home with me. Whereas when I was a kid, we always had a caregiver with us all summer. I didn't do a lot of summer camps. I don't think I ever did the traditional overnight camp thing, which my kids have done and enjoy. But we always had somebody with us. Like it or not, no matter how old we were, we had somebody. So, and I can remember at least one of them, my parents were both professors of education. So we always had grad students as our caregivers. Mm-hmm. And so they would have a schedule. They would have a curriculum, and it would just be today is green day and we're going to wear green clothes and eat green food. And
wow.
Yeah.
They would do the curriculum, the student or the...
No, the student.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. So we do stuff like that. So it's, and I do not, now that I am the primary caregiver to my kids, I do not have special days like that. I'm just trying to get through each day as it comes. How about you as a teacher, Nicole? Did you ever want to do stuff like that with your kids, or were you I am off the clock right now?
Oh, yeah. It's so different because I grew up, where I grew up was in a, was in a really, really small community. And so there was no, because it was such a small community. I mean, we did swim lessons. That was kind of our most structured activity. And then after that, it was a free for all. We were told to leave the house and
don't come back.
When 9:00 town siren goes off. So we
had a bell at my house.
Yeah. So there was a town siren, and every kid on the street had to be in the house when the siren went off. And so literally, it was we were free range kids. We we did our own. I can just. I just have all these images of the trails and the forts and the, and some of it wasn't, it was fun for the most part. And then other times, I wish that I had something more structured to do, but my kids, of course, have had totally different childhoods because of where we live. We live in a rural area within a larger, city, and there's a lot of opportunity to free range. Mm-hmm. So my kids have been, we're in camps. And it's funny, this year is the first unstructured summer that my daughter kind of has. We're going on vacation, but just for the first part. And then after that, we're what is she going to do? She's got to get a job. She's got, I feel like right. She's got to do something because, it's been about a week and a half since she's been out of school, and she's just kind of been, relaxing around the house, and it's driving me crazy.
Yes.
I'm get outside and don't come home till 9:00. No. But, this is really her first unstructured summer, which is kind of strange. And, so just a totally different world that they're growing up in than what I did. Totally different. So nothing the same. How about you, Terry?
I guess mine was sort of the same in that my mom didn't work, so she was always home and she would be, available to do things with me. I had a lot of friends in the neighborhood. That was back when you could just, wander the neighborhood and go into other people's houses. And hang out for a while. And, so I would do stuff with my friends. I always went to camp, or usually went to camp, because I was always ambitious. I wanted to take the longest camp and do the biggest thing and go the furthest distance and all this stuff, which my parents usually said no. But I did go to camps.
You tried.
It's a varying degrees of success. I think I've talked about the one sleepover the sleepaway camp where once they said that they were going to bring egg salad on the hike. I said, oops, I'm sick. Got to go home. But I remember some church camps and some music camps and stuff I went to that were very fun. And, swim lessons, all that summer type stuff. But I remember it as being very unstructured and, a lot of time at home, a lot of time doing things, and just kind of a break from school. And with my kids, it's been a little more complicated. I mean, I try to keep things very structured and routine oriented because that's what they need. And there was always the feeling that the summer was a chance to catch up a little bit before the next school year came, which not very fun for me or them. It's like, oh, good, we're going to read these books now. We're going to do this project. We're going to work on this. We're going to develop this skill. Can we go back to school, please? So, and so you would have more therapy over the summer, or you would do this and that. Camp was difficult because, especially with my son, there weren't that many camps he could go to. There was a very nice special needs camp we went to for a little while, but boy, was it expensive. And after a while, I started feeling like they weren't, I think they specialized in kids with autism, and both of my kids had some overlaps, but they weren't actually autistic. And so I felt like they weren't getting, my full money's worth from it. So we would always be looking for a program that would have them. The church had a summer program, but I had to pay a paraprofessional from school to go with my son and be in it. And it was things like that. One summer I did a camp mom where some of his friends came over and all us moms together put together a program. And we did then have that sort of regimented theme day sort of thing. We had a field trip every week and we had projects and we had a schedule, and that worked out very well. But boy, was it a lot of work. It was non-sustainable in that when it was done, I thought, I don't think I can do this again.
Right.
So,
and you needed the other people to be as committed as.
Yeah, well, and they were, but I'm bossy, so I would take the most stuff. That's partially my fault, but it was at my house. I was the only one of the moms that drove, so I had to go pick everybody up, bring them to my house, then bring them home after, drive on the field trips, which I didn't mind while I was doing it, but when it was done, it was like, that was really kind of a lot.
Yeah.
So, if my son had been younger when we started doing that, I probably would have done it a few more summers, but he was just getting into high school and then he could get a summer job through the school. And so summers for us have always been a project. There's always been some significant thing we were going to try to do over the summer. And sort of going back to, it was a relief for school to be out and not have the homework and all that stuff, but then it was always kind of a relief for school to be back and it to be somebody else's problem.
Yeah. And I feel the same way with, without having some of the issues that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
I enjoy the lack of homework and getting up in the morning, but then I'm not too sad when it starts back again.
Okay, I'm off duty now.
All right.
Go back. Have somebody else create your structure every minute of the day. And there's always the worry that, at a certain point in the summer, my job becomes harassing people to make sure the things they've promised to do in the next school year would actually get done. So that was always a nice special stress point in my summer, as August approaches.
And you're talking about harassing the people at school, not your children.
Not my children. Well, arguably. But, no, I'm talking about, calling the special ed office every day for a month saying, that paraprofessional that I have in this legal document that you're going to provide? Just want to make sure you're providing it.
Make sure you're working on that.
Making sure that the car seat is going to be on the school bus the first day, that the school bus is going to come on the first day, that can we have a tour of the new school and things like this. So there's a certain amount of setup for the new school year that was always a part of my summers. And now everybody's just home all the time. So I don't have any of that anymore. And
Sorry
Not sure I
about
missed it or
that.
not.
My dog has something to say about
Apparently
being
so.
paid attention to during summer time.
Is she saying, Mom, it's come to my attention there are cats here?
Oh, yes. That's the one thing that is very different to our summers now than what they were before.
Mom, perhaps you didn't know there are large rodents in the house. Would you like me to take care of them for you?
Two cats and 23 fish. Yes.
Oh, my.
Life is fun.
Yeah. Well, Missy has grounds for complaint, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially when the one cat decides, I'm sorry, we're getting off topic.
Yes.
But decides to get up at 4:30 in the morning and roam our kitchen and knock over a glass of water onto the floor. Anyway, that's a whole other topic for another day.